This is Jason Kelly of the Kelly Letter. Today I want to show you how to use the Allocator tab of the subscriber site calculator to easily sync your plans with the letters. This is important for veterans of the letter, but it's especially important for newcomers, and here's why. When somebody's just getting started in the stock market or switching over to a new plan in the stock market, they always worry that now is the wrong time. The market's too high. The market's still crashing. The market's been going sideways for so long, it surely is about to crash. I always get things wrong. Everything goes downhill after I get started. That's my life story. I've heard it all over the years. I used to tell people to start at the base reset allocation, such as 60-40 stocks bonds in the 9-sig plan. These days, I tell people just mimic the letter. The letter has a long history, many quarters behind it, of rebalancing to current stock market conditions. So just join exactly the letter's disposition and you'll be good to go. You'll have safety in numbers. You just follow along with each Sunday letter and make the quarterly adjustments that the letter makes, and you'll be in sync with the letter. So it's important for everybody involved with the Kelly Letter, this market-beating long-term plan, to understand how to easily sync with the letter's plans. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. To start, you log into the subscriber site and you just come over here to Calc up here in the menu. That'll get you to the page you see on your screen right now. You can see that it starts on the Calculator tab where I'm moving my cursor here. And right next to it, let me just show you. The Calculator tab takes extra information. It takes all the information needed to generate the full signals that I show in the letter. But I've discovered over the years that people like a simpler approach, and the Allocator is the way to do that, because after all of the calculator inputs and calculations are taken into account, we end up with a disposition, an allocation. What percentage of our plan is in stocks, what percentage is in bonds. That's the allocation, and this allocator will sync your plans to the letter's current allocations. It starts out with just asking the name of this account. I'm going to do 9-sig for this today, and by the way, this is 9-sig data from the Note 16, year 2021, and that's data as of April 16th, 2021, with the letter being sent on April 18th, that's Sunday of 2021. That's the data I'm going to be using here. Subscribers, you can look that up in either your email history or on the site archive. So 9-sig, do I want to round to whole share amounts? Yes, I do. If for some reason you didn't want to, you would just toggle this to no, but I always keep it yes because it's cleaner that way. Now notice, down here, this is data from your account. There are only 4 fields. There's just no excuse for not getting yourself synced with the letter. Only 4 fields of information you need to put in, and they don't require that you go back through historical statements from your account to figure out when did I add money, how many shares did I buy, what was my average price. All of that goes away with this approach. Look how easy this is. Stock fund shares currently owned. Easy. You look at your account and see how many you owned, right? In this case, the 9-sig plan, we had stock fund shares currently owned. The whole plan falling apart here. How can that be? Here we go. 20,561 is what you'll find there if you're faster at looking than I am, which I hope you are. Stock fund current closing price then was 111.81. The bond fund shares owned 9846, and the bond fund current closing price was 114.54. Okay. Now your account would be different, of course, right? Because you might be using different funds, you might be on a different date. But it can't get much more straightforward than this. How many stock fund shares do you own? What's the current price? How many bond fund shares do you currently own? What's the current price? We don't use cash. You should have just 2 funds in your account. If you don't, get there. Sell everything else you have and get to the 2 funds in the plan. All right, that's all you should have. I don't want to get an email from you saying, but wait a minute, I have all this money in cash. Well, why? We don't use cash. You have 2 funds, a stock fund and a bond fund. If you're trying to calculate something else with this, it won't work. So don't try to calculate something else with this. Stock fund shares currently owned, stock fund current closing price, bond fund shares currently owned, bond fund current closing price. Get that data in and you're good to go. Look at this next field. Desired stock fund allocation in percent. That's what the letter is at every Sunday. You can find that every single Sunday to see what the current one is, and of course every quarter in the quarterly signal too, if that's when you're syncing your plans. On this date, our stock allocation in 9sig was 67%. So you just put in that 67. We're not going to go with any kind of desired limit price for this. We're just going to calculate. Boom. What do we need to do? Scroll down here, and there it is. According to this, you are going to need to sell 27 shares of your stock fund at that price, $111.81. And with the proceeds from that sale, you'll buy 26 shares of your bond fund. The end result of this will be your stock bond fund allocation after this action. What you're just going to do is going to be 67%, exactly the same as you put it up here. Of course, that's the point of this. If you wanted to verify this, it's easy with your handy business calculator. Mine I've had since I was a senior in college, and it's still going strong. Brand to remain unnamed, but you more perceptive ones might be able to figure it out. All right, look at the current balance of our plan. You just add it up. It comes out to 3426698 if you add those together. All right, and then what do we want it to be our bond fund balance? Well, it's going to be 2298925. Just divide the resulting stock balance by the full balance, 698, and you get, as you can see, if you zoom in, you get a 67% stock allocation after you take these actions. That calculation is simple. It's just stock balance divided by total balance. That'll give you the percentage. That's it. You can send this to yourself or just look at it here and place the orders that you see right on the screen there. 27 to sell from the stock fund and 26 to buy in the bond fund. After this, you're totally synced with the letter. And then you can just follow along with each quarterly signal the same way using these allocations, or if you start monitoring more closely your actual activity during the quarter, then you can switch over to the more detailed calculator tab and get an even finer point on the orders you should place. But frankly, close enough is good enough in these very forgiving, market-beating plans, and the allocator will be just fine for you. That's it. Go get them. Happy SIGging with the Allocator tab.